So today we'll discover why identity matters actually if we want to create a change in our life. The science of identity, the energy of identity, the secret of identity level change, and the solution that I discovered for myself and my clients that can create a rapid, big shift in life. All right. So I invite you to set an intention. So the overall intention of today's workshop is to see why your current identity might keeping you stuck and create the same results in your life. We want to deeply understand actually why changing the identity is the key to changing your life. And we will learn the tools to rewire your mind and align your energy to create a big shift, whatever this big shift is means for you, right? And before you start, I invite you to write down or to think one word or sentence. Continue this phrase. The woman I'm becoming is. It might be confident, loving, whatever it is for you. You can write several words. Let's set an intention. And to everybody who's going to watch it later, also, I invite you to set an intention. Beautiful. All right, let's go. So that's about me and why you should trust me in whatever I'm saying today. So I'm a certified hypnotherapist and meditation instructor. I'm also a certified ICF coach, and I've spent about 5 years exploring, studying human mind and energy myself. It all started because I wanted a change in my life. I really wanted to shift my reality, and it started with my own journey. And at some point, I realized that I know and tried so much from meditation and ancient practices all the way to modern breath work, NLP, hypnotherapy, that it's time to share what really works and what does not, and how other women, my friends and beyond that, can create a big change in their lives. So I decided to create my signature method that really worked for me and works still for all my clients. And it fuses neuroscience, subconscious mind work, and energy work. I do believe that this fusion can create a real lasting transformation in life. The key here is lasting. Yeah, because when we work with just conscious mind, we can create like shifts that might last for a while, but we want something really profound, deep, something lasting that can really affect us in a positive way for a really long time. So that's enough about me. And let's move to why identity matters. Why are we talking about identity today? So I do believe, and it's proven by neuroscience, that you cannot rise above the level of your identity. Like you cannot create reality outside of what you believe about yourself. So if you believe that something is impossible for you, obviously you cannot create it. And our identity is defined, first of all, by our thoughts. Our thoughts is the most powerful tool. We often underestimate our thoughts. We think these are just thoughts. They're just in our mind, like, yeah, some of them are negative, some of them are positive, let them be. And most of the people, they don't take control of the thoughts. They just trust them. Yeah, whatever thought I have, I will just blindly trust it and it will lead me somewhere. However, 90% of our thoughts are not even ours. Our thoughts and beliefs were defined probably mostly by society, political system, family, the school we went to, our friends, and the core of identity was formed before we are 7 years old. However, identity is very dynamic concept. So identity will change over time. It keeps changing all the time, all the time. We change, we evolve. But there is a core. The core of identity is about beliefs. Beliefs about the world, about who we are, what we deserve, what we are worthy of receiving. And this is when we hit the glass wall or glass ceiling, when we already achieved a lot in life, but at some point we hit a crisis or we get stuck. And oftentimes we know what to do consciously. We know, okay, this is what I need to do to get unstuck. This is the action I'm going to take. But somehow it's not solving the problem. We keep stuck in the pattern. It's some kind of a pattern that was defined by our beliefs. So today we're going to talk about how to break the cycle, how to exit this loop, how to stop being a victim of our own thoughts and our beliefs. And here's a little bit of theory about conscious and subconscious mind. I'm sure you probably heard and seen this picture before. So naturally, we resist to change. This is our natural response. Whenever we think about creating something new, moving to another country, starting that business, even starting that relationship, we start resisting most of the time, because our natural mechanism, subconscious mind, wants to keep us safe. First of all, our nervous system just seeks safety. That's it. Our nervous system, our subconscious mind, doesn't care about our ambitions, our goals, like whatever financial freedom, whatever we want for ourselves, doesn't care. Subconscious mind just wants safety. That's it. And there is a way to play with subconscious mind. There is a way to make it feel safe. There is a way to train our system to feel safe about anything that we want. It takes time and repetition, but there is a way. The good news is, like, we are capable of changing. Thanks to neuroplasticity that was discovered not that long ago, and now it's being promoted. Before we thought that we cannot change our brain, we cannot change the structure of our brain after a particular age. I don't remember, like maybe 18, 20 years ago, people, when we hit 20 years old, people thought that we cannot change. That's it. People can't change. We hear it all the time. However, that's not true. Yeah, if we really want to change, we work with our subconscious mind, with the deeper levels of the mind, we can change anything. We can heal, we can change the way we live on a daily basis. We can create something that we dream of. Just a matter of working with subconscious mind. All right, now it's a meme break. What if I told you that your path to personal growth is the direction of your own fears? Why is that? So the fear is just a tool of the mind. The fear is always an illusion. It's something that our mind created to keep us stuck in the patterns and, again, safe. So the intention was good. Originally, the intention was to just keep us safe. But right now we live in a world that is more or less safe, let's say, right? So we don't want to be stuck. We want to evolve. We want to create. We want to be creators. And that fear is most of the time is unnecessary. So if you feel scared about anything, if you have a fear of failure, creating something, that means you gotta do this, because this is the right path for you. Fear of failure is the most common fear that I see and notice in people. And it's like it's kind of childish, if we're being honest. It's like, I always imagine this little child that is too afraid of making a mistake or just doing something wrong. And most of the time, the root of this fear is in our childhood as well. Yeah, we've been criticized. Something happened that traumatized us, so we're too afraid to make a mistake again, even as an adults, even if we consciously know that's gonna be okay, right? Oftentimes we are afraid not just of mistake itself, but we are afraid of what we're gonna do after we fail, what we're gonna do to ourselves after we fail. And again, we can train ourselves to deal with failures properly. Yeah, not beating ourselves over mistake, not feeling shame, not feeling guilt, because these are very low vibrational emotions that are not leading us anywhere. This is just, again, a trauma response. Okay, let's move on. Behind the identity shift. Yeah, is there any evidence at all that identity shift can change our life? So in neuroscience, again, we're going to talk about neuroplasticity a bit. Normally, the brain creates neural pathways based on repeated self-concept and beliefs. So basically, we do something every day that we don't even think of. Brushing teeth with right hand, taking the same path to work or like to the same coffee shop, whatever it is, right? And we create pathways this way, neural pathways. And at some point, it becomes automated. At some point, we do the thing and we don't even notice we do it. And okay, brushing teeth is really not the case here. We are talking mostly about the response to situations, like when we get stressed easily, when we get triggered easily by something. And there is a way to change that if we change these pathways. Again, repetition here is the key. Subconscious mind work is the key here. In psychology, for example, self-perception theory shows that you act in alignment to your identity. So you don't act according to your goals. You act according to your identity. So whatever you believe about yourself, again, it's about how confident you feel. It's about how good as an expert you feel you are, etc., right? This is what you get. This is what your reality reflects you. And if we go even deeper and we talk about the energy fields, about the coherence, the heart and mind coherence, heart is the most powerful, can create the most powerful vibration in our body that will resonate even to the outside world. And with this much power, we can attract coherent experiences. Maybe like, what does it mean in human language? So when probably you noticed when you are in a very good mood, when you're joyful, when you're happy, when you love yourself, when you are in alignment, you attract very similar experiences. People around you smiling, helping you, opportunities flowing, money is flowing, love is flowing back to you. So everything is just flowing. It's a flow state, and it's beautiful. However, most of the time we are not in this state because we are worrying too much, we're stressed too much, we get anxiety, shame, guilt, anger, whatever it is. It's not always this state. Maybe 20% of the time we're in this state, and we're wondering why negative events happen to us, right? Obviously, they're for personal growth, but there is a way to attract less of negativity into our life, less challenges, and more coherent experiences that resonate in love and joy. So this is just a scan of the brain right here after meditation. It's like a heart-mind coherence, breathwork and meditation that can change literally how your brain looks like, right? So the areas that are triggered when we're anxious or angry or worried, on this scan, on the right side of the scan, we don't see that they are triggered anymore, right? We see that everything is just natural. This is natural state. This is natural picture, let's say, the natural scan of the brain. Our natural state is peace, happiness, and joy. Surprisingly, right? All right, let's move on. Willpower. I love this. So oftentimes we watch motivational video, and in motivational videos we see like people prompting us to work harder, use willpower, get up at 5 a.m., etc., etc. I mean, willpower is great. Obviously, willpower, even in Tantra, there is a dynamic meditation to activate willpower, but willpower gives you 10% of result. It's not the fundamental force. If you only use willpower to achieve your results, at some point you just burn out. And this is what happens to most of the people. They keep pushing harder, they keep working more, they keep deprive themselves from sleep and etc. So it doesn't end well, right? Willpower is great, but it has to be balanced, and it's not the fundamental force. The fundamental force is your beliefs and true motivation. You gotta have a true goal that is true to you and the true motivation to accomplish it. If you keep pushing and working from fear, guilt, or shame, yeah, at some point your nervous system just breaks and you're not achieving your goal, or you're achieving it but not feeling anything about it. Yeah, it doesn't feel good, doesn't feel right, and the journey to it was painful. Again, it's always about the journey, not just the goal. And willpower is one of the elements, but not the main one. Focusing only on willpower won't get us far. So here we are again. I love this concept of logical levels of change. So oftentimes people when they think about changing their life, they're just like, I'm gonna move to another country and everything's gonna magically change. So why this doesn't work? Let's see. So moving to another country is environment change. This is the base level. It's right here. So it can trigger behavior change, beliefs change, and identity change, but not always. If we just change in our environment, it's great, but we take our old selves to the new environment, and it's not always working, right? It's not, we can move to Bali, but still feel stressed and worried and anxious about anything, even though environment is very relaxing and blissful. So that's why I suggest to work on identity level first, because if you work on identity level, changing your identity will change your beliefs, your behavior, your environment, all the layers. Yeah. So it will create a big shift. Instead of working on every habit, every behavior separately, you can embody the new identity and everything else will align. Yeah. I love this concept. It's not easy, but it's more efficient than just working separately on every single trauma, every single belief, every single, like, it's gonna take years, right? And we, we don't want to spend years on that. Now, so I'm sharing my concept, my vision of how it can work holistically and efficiently. So I created this Trinity codes, and I do believe working on the mind, body, and energy together can create a really profound, big shift in life. So by working on the mind, I mean recoding the subconscious mind. And the most efficient tools I found and I used were meditation and hypnosis. Meditation and hypnosis allow us to go into the theta delta brainwave state. In this state, it's a natural trance. Our brain wants to be in trance. It loves trance. It loves to be in the flow state. So in this state, when the conscious mind is off, it's very easy to connect with subconscious and rewrite the code, rewrite the beliefs that we are running our lives for like years and years. It's very easy to offer new suggestions to the mind, the more empowering beliefs that we want to plant there as seeds and let them grow and flourish and guide us. So if we've been guiding all life by the feeling of guilt, or just thinking that we need to prove something to someone, even to ourselves, yeah, this was not very productive, most probably. So if you want to change that, we can. It's the matter of deleting the programs that are not working for us and planting new seeds and installing new programs. It's like changing the software or updating the software, basically. Yeah, luckily it's possible, and that's great news. Okay, working the mind is great, but our body stores all the traumas and all the unprocessed emotions, right? So working with the body is really, really important. We cannot skip this part. Working with the body is very efficient when we need to release. When we need to release everything that's not serving us anymore, it's the fastest way. There is no point to release through the mind because the trauma is here. It's in the body. So it's the fastest way to release breath work, somatic movements, somatic shaking, tantric meditations to release, to free the body, to open up the energetic pathways. That's the fastest and the most efficient way. And the cherry on top, that is not for everyone, for it's advanced level, but everybody can do this because we are energetic beings, first of all. It's about aligning the energy to something that we want to create in our life. So tools here, I love emotional freedom tapping. Tapping is getting very popular right now. It's coming from ancient Chinese medicine, and I tried myself. First, I was very skeptical, I'll be honest, but I tried a few times and it does work, and it's really fast. It's just great. And also I practice tantric style meditations, which also unite mind, body, and energy. So you release through breath, through the movement, and through the sound. Also very empowering. So I do recommend tantric style meditations. All right. Any questions till this point?
Yeah, but we can keep it to the end.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit more about scientific protocol and scientific evidence of this holistic approach. Here are just some references to the studies that have been done. And regarding the mind, here we want to shift the story that we keep telling ourselves subconsciously. And neuroplasticity here allows us to do this. So through mental rehearsal and new beliefs can literally rewire brain circuits. This is just a video of how new neural connections are made, right? It's been discovered actually more than 10 years ago, yeah, but we still don't really use it as much as we could to our advantage. So all the knowledge are out there. So what's really the problem is that people don't practice and don't use it. Everything is available already. Everything is already proven, but we are too lazy. Let's be honest. All right. So hypnosis and meditation increase cognitive flexibility and deactivate default mode network tied to the old self narrative. What does it mean? Okay, so this is very complicated the way it's written. What it means actually that hypnosis meditation help us to disconnect from old self, disconnect from the concept of old self, and become nothing. And then from this nothingness, create whatever we want to create, identity-wise or reality-wise. It's very hard to disconnect when we are constantly on the move, working, hustling in beta state, brain waves. It's really hard to really kind of disconnect and just think, okay, what would I want to create? Who do I want to be? Who am I even, right? Because there are so many labels on us. We play so many roles at the same time. And we're also defined by our maybe religion, our place of birth, like so many things that it's hard to disconnect from all of that. But if we learn to really reset these settings, this is very, very powerful, because at the end of the day, we are not defined by anything. We can define ourselves however we want. This is our power. We can keep only the things that feel good, right? And refuse anything that doesn't feel right for us. So here we go. The second pillar is the body, the somatic and embodiment work. You can meditate a few hours a day, but nothing will change if you won't embody the new identity, if you won't take actions according to a new identity, right? It's not enough just to mentally rehearse something. It's so important to embody who we want to be. Even the way we stand, the way we move, the way we speak, the way we show up, or even dress, all these elements make us feel as a new person if you want, right? It's so important to really feel it through the body, feel the confidence through the body, feel our new selves through the body. And here, what really helps is somatic work and nervous system regulation, of course. Because what if it's not safe to be new? Yeah, let's stay as we are. Let's just stay who we are. It's safe. It's familiar, right? So embodiment works super powerful. And the last one, energy, vibrational, emotional alignment. Yeah, there were a lot of studies. There were a lot of studies on emotional, energetic. Oi, pardon. Yeah. So basically, during meditation, people were encouraged to feel elevated emotions such as peace, joy, love, acceptance, and they were prompted to enhance these emotions. So they would see something mentally that is not even happening in reality, but the mind doesn't know the difference between reality and what we imagine. And feeling these emotions actually helps to rewire the mind, rewire the brain. So you become someone who you see mentally or feel mentally in real life. And if you rehearse enough using this combination of visualization plus emotions, enhanced emotions, that becomes your reality. You start acting from this new state of being, from this new identity. Yeah, the actions come easily and naturally. So instead of just using willpower to take an action, we use the mental rehearsal and elevated emotions so the actions come naturally to us. We also get insights, and intuition helps. Intuition is aligned to our goals, to our visions, to whatever we want to create. So this coherence of energetic alignment, emotional state, embodiment, and subconscious mind work all together creates such a powerful fusion. So achieving our goals becomes much easier. And at some point we realize it's never been actually about the achieving the goal itself. It was all about becoming that person who feels great daily, great about life, great about ourselves, feeling joy and peace naturally without any external, I don't know, we don't need anything external to feel all of these states. Of course, it's not about not doing anything anymore in this life and just being stuck in there. Though some people at some point on their spiritual journey think that's it. Yeah, I don't really need anything else. So the new purpose becomes to serve other people using the natural skills and talents that we have that been given, and to create a change in the world in any way. It doesn't have to be a spiritual serving. It doesn't have to. It can be anything. Created a business that is beneficial for people, for humanity. So creating art, creating whatever you feel like your purpose is. And I want to talk about embodiment a little bit more, because embodiment is the key. As I said, if you meditate for a few hours daily, nothing will change, really. Yeah, you will feel great and peace and calm and all of these elevated emotions. But in the end of the day, embodiment through actions and through the way you show up in the world, that's what's making real change, right? So this will truly shift the reality. All right, so I want to share a little bit about the program I'm running right now. So it's called Become Her. By her, I mean the higher self, the identity that you want to create. And in this program, we really address change at the deepest level, the identity itself. We work holistically through the mind, body, and energy. And it's not just theory. Here I'm sharing mostly theory, but during the program, we do the practices that in holistic way shift your reality, your identity, and create the change you want to create. And as the highest level of the change, you reconnect with your purpose, because above the vision, above the identity is only the purpose that's connecting you to everything else in this beautiful world, in this universe. So yeah, the program is all about unlocking your power through their practices, support, community. It's a group program, and it's really beautiful that when it's a group program, it's a group dynamics, the changes happen even faster because there is this group synergy, there is this group dynamic. I love doing the group programs. So inside of the program, we have weekly group calls, sessions together, hypnosis and meditations guided by me, embodiment practices. I'm sharing also EFT techniques that you can do yourself, and energy work tools such as tantric meditations and energy healing tools. And we have private community and we stay in touch even after the program, so we can share the transformations, exchange our insights, our knowledge, meet offline also. So it's a really, really like soulful community. All right. If you, okay, just sharing my client's recent win. So this is Vlada, and she was an admin worker. So she worked in university onboarding students, but she felt like something is off. Like she was 30 and the crisis hit. Like this is the age when we usually face that. So she came to me feeling that, yeah, that's not for me. Whatever I'm doing is just not for me. I don't feel myself, and I feel a lot of anxiety as well on a daily basis. I feel that I'm shrinking. I'm shrinking myself. So through the method that I use and become her as well, we worked one-on-one with her, but it's the same method basically. We discovered her pure purpose. So she created her own brand of vintage corsets, and yeah, it took her only 2 months, and she's already successfully selling online and in shops in Barcelona. She partnered with several vintage stores, and yeah, like it's been really beautiful journey for her. So this is what happens when we embody the higher self, when we embody the new version of us. It doesn't have to take too long to shift from feeling small and not at our place to feeling in full power, empowers creator and founder. All right, here I'll share, if I may, I'll share the link in the chat if you want to discover later about the program, so I don't focus too much on it. Okay, how do I do this? Right here. Yeah, that's the link. Anyway, yeah, we have one spot left for early bird. A few girls already signed up, so I'm super excited to start in 1 week. So if you feel like it's something for you and it's calling you, I'm happy if you join. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask your questions about the masterclass or about the program or anything that just like randomly came to your mind and you feel like you want to share. I'm super open to anything.
Yeah, thank you so much for this, by the way. It's so, I mean, a lot of the stuff I'm already familiar with, but it's always so good to hear it again. And yeah, just embody it while you listen. I took a little note as well. It's good.
Good.
Yeah, actually, a few questions that I had. I think one was around, you said the visualization plus the emotions create the new reality. How do you create the emotions? Did you say that was mostly through meditation?
Yeah,
Or
so basically the idea here is that when you sit down in a meditation, first of all, you start with the heart and mind coherence. So you calm down your nervous system. So you go into the state which is a different brainwave state from beta to alpha to theta, so as
yeah.
deep as you can go. So that's the first step. It might take even like 10 minutes for some people, or 20. It really depends on how active you were before you sat down into meditation. That's why ideally you should do it in the morning or before you sleep.
Yeah.
So first stage is to just to calm down the nervous system, yeah, and to go into deep relaxation, into theta brainwave state. After that, after you calm down your system and you felt that you are not connected to your daily worries anymore, so you cleared your mental space, Mostly, yeah, I can't say no thoughts because it's impossible, right? But the space between the thoughts now is much, much wider. So you have space to actually create. From this state, you visualize whatever, let's say, if you're talking about identity shift, you visualize the person, the identity you want to become, the qualities, right? Embodying her and feeling the emotions she would feel. It doesn't always have to be extreme joy. It
Yeah.
doesn't always have to be extreme happiness because most of the time it's just peace and calm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this very, very calm, clear, focused mind. So we enhance that. We can enhance that through anchoring. In NLP, there is a technique that's called anchoring. We can enhance it through this. We can enhance it just when I do hypnosis, I say enhance and your brain enhances, When you do it yourself, it's a little bit harder to enhance, but also you can train your mind and you can mentally tell yourself that I want to enhance it 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. So you feel it so much that your mind takes it as reality. It really thinks this is real right now. This experience is absolutely real. This is what we are living. This is who we are. This new identity is already you. And actually it's always been you. So there is nothing else. So the idea here is to just enhance these emotions, whether through saying to yourself, I'm enhancing, so your brain does the work, or through NLP anchoring. So there are different ways. If you do the embodiment work through somatic work, right? If you do the embodiment through movements, you can move the way your new self would move. Yeah, you can do the dance that you associate with your new self, or the power posture.
Mm-hmm.
Anchors, like, so you create different anchors for yourself through the body that will connect you to the new self. You can create the ones that feel good to you, so it's very individual. For me, I might press these fingers and feel the rush of like the emotions that I need, feel the power. For some people, it's just the way they stand, really, really individual. So it's up to you how you want to enhance it. If you're
Mm-hmm.
sitting, you can do it with breath work as well.
Yeah.
uh, with particular breathwork techniques. There are many, many ways. But traditionally, it's just meditation. It's just a meditation and anchoring.
Cool. Okay. And then I think you mentioned Tantra meditation.
Yeah, tantric. Oh, I can talk a lot about it. Yeah, in tantra there are many meditations. Like there is Osho dynamic meditation, for example.
Yeah.
It really depends on the purpose, right? If you're releasing your old self, or you're embodying the new self, or you need to work on a particular quality. So, for example, some people do lack willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people do lack self-expression, yet they need to work on self-expression, visibility, talking their truth. So if you work with the throat chakra, for example, there is a different like tantra meditation for that. If you need to work on just alignment of all energy centers, there is a different meditation for that. So it really depends on the goal. But if you never tried tantra, I do recommend tantra,
Mm-hmm.
and I have several workshops on tantra as well, some of them pre-recorded. If you want to try anything, I'm happy to share with you. Also, I do online live tantra masterclasses from time to time
Cool.
on different topics. So there are so many tools in there. So it really depends on what you personally need right now. If you share with me what you are going through right now, where you are at on your journey, what you want to create, I can share with you what kind of tools
Yeah.
you personally need to use.
Sure. Yeah. Do you want to stop the recording? There's a lot I can
For
share.
sure. Yeah, I will. Okay, thank you everybody will watch this recording later. And I'm gonna stop recording right now. See you in the next workshop.